What's going on? What's going on? Edward. Hey, Edward. Shiny Volvo. And Brooks Sugar Kisses. You guys got the coolest handles. I'm just going to patch in. Oh, there's a... Send a request to be live. All these people. I'm waiting on Nikki. I just talked to her. So I'm trying to figure out how to patch her in. Hi, Barbara Planinger. Hope Joe's doing well. And Peter Facinelli Lovers back in the house. Woo! Let's see. Request to be your live as others sent view. I think I gotta go to this. Someone teach you. Oh, there's Nikki. What's going on? You guys excited for The Vanish to come out tonight?
Hi!
Hey, my favorite daughter.
Hi! Don't tell anyone else.
Don't tell anyone. I say that to each of my kids. I'm like, you're my favorite. Don't tell your sisters.
Wait, you can't tell me that.
I wrote to Nikki today and I said, you're my favorite daughter. Don't tell the others. You're my favorite child.
I didn't, but I told the world. Or
Yes.
the 36.
Oh, all right. So
people
whoever's
that are
on this
here right now.
whoever's on the live chat, don't tell the rest of the Cullens
Yeah, exactly.
that she's my favorite.
Oh, I miss
You
you.
look fantastic and beautiful. Oh my God. And your hair is wonderful. And you're like glowing.
Wait,
I mean,
you do like to comment on the hair. You do that.
no, well, your hair is fantastic. How long have you had the bangs?
My hair is, you know what this is? This is called quarantine hair. This is called, I cut my own hair and I can't do anything to it anymore. And who's got the time? It's called, I have a 3-year-old and
Well, whatever is happening, it looks fantastic. I mean, honestly, I love it. I love it.
Thanks. I love you. I'm so excited to see you.
I know.
And
I feel like crying right now. I feel like crying. You showered?
I showered. I mean, for what it's worth, it's not like we can smell each other, but it feels nice.
I told Nikki this story. I'm going to tell you guys because speaking of showers.
Yeah.
So I didn't know that when you're on Zoom, it says hide profile. That if you touch that, if you hit that, I thought your camera goes off, so people can't see you.
That's
and so I'm on a Zoom call. By the way. It's definitely a Facinelli move. And I'm on a Zoom call. There's like 12 people on it, but I just have to listen, so I'm not really having to chime in. And I was filming. I had somebody come in and pick me up for work. So I was like, oh, well, I'll just multitask. I'll jump in the shower, and I can listen to the call at the same time. So I hit hide profile, which is not shut the camera off. So I think nobody can see me. And so I take my computer into the bathroom, and I'm brushing my teeth, and, like, no one's saying anything. So I'm thinking, they can't see me.
Fully naked.
And no, then I strip my shirt off, okay? And I start, like, flexing in the mirror going, I think am I getting fat? I don't know. No, I think I look good, And then I'm about to take my pants off, and somebody goes, hey, have you been working out? You're looking good. And I was like, oh, my God. Can you see me? And then I'm on mute, so it's even more embarrassing because I'm, like, scrambling for the buttons. It was, it could have been a lot worse.
Ducked out?
No, I had my... Get you? Yeah, it's one of those where you kind of like cover up. I'm like, wait, I don't have
this little widget. Watch this. See that little widget? I have this little widget on all my devices, on all my cameras, and it's just a slider bar, so you can just be 100% positive that no one's watching.
I need that. I need that in my life. Where do you get that?
It's like a $5 Amazon purchase. Really.
I'm definitely ordering one.
Yeah, that's what you need. We need to make a Bible of like Facinelli whoopsies, like things that could possibly happen.
Yeah, I'm very foot and mouth.
Years. Oh my God, that makes me.
So what have you been doing during quarantine?
It's funny. I thought I was gonna enter into this quarantine and go like, what a moment to just exhale, because at least I'm not gonna be in the car so much and driving to and from work. And my commute was really intense before, because I was getting up at like 5, working for an hour, getting the baby up, doing breakfast, taking her to school, driving all the way downtown, then driving to West Hollywood, and then driving an hour and a half back home. And I was doing that loop every day, which was like 3-4 hours in the car. I mean, it was a lot of driving. So I thought, okay, at the very least, I mean, there's a lot coming out of this quarantine, but just to focus on the positive for 1 second, I thought, I'm not going to be living in a car, and I think what we're all learning is that the work-life boundary thing is just, it's a lot, you know? I mean, it's not like we're all sitting here, you know, putting on face masks. And I mean, I haven't showered in days. I showered for you. There's no time to shower. I'm working so
Were you
much.
like, oh, now I gotta take a shower?
No,
And I
I
gotta
was grateful. My
okay.
whole house is probably grateful because look, for the first time in forever, I've showered. What are you doing during quarantine?
I have done the craziest shit, just out of boredom. I lost 30 pounds, by the way. I mean, I wasn't like,
Doing
I didn't
good?
think I was heavy, but I just wanted
Well,
to get leaner.
I wasn't on that Zoom where you took all your clothes off.
Yeah. I wanted to get leaner and more cut, and just I had the time to do it. So I was just like, I've been just working out and doing that. And then reading books, and like, I'm fascinated by like the mind
Mm.
and like the subconscious. So I took a course in hypnotherapy, and
Like
I
a
actually,
teacher's course?
like a what?
Like a teacher's course? Like you're going to do it?
I got certified in hypnotherapy. I mean, the certification came with the course. So
Are you going to ask me if we could do the first ever IG Live hypnosis?
hypnotherapy, but we should do that next time. I'll hypnotize
I mean,
you.
I'm ready now.
If there's anything you want to work on, I could totally do it. I've only practiced on my fiance once, so I need a little more practice. But in theory, I could totally do it.
Okay.
And I'll hypnotize everybody here to watch The Vanished this weekend.
Which is what we're here to talk about.
It's fine. I mean, I actually just wanted to use this to catch up with you. I forgot everybody else is on. I'm being really rude. Hi, everybody. I'm glad you're tuned in. So what did you think of the movie? I sent Nikki read the movie. I sent Nikki read the movie last week, and she's one of my favorites because she was the first one who watched the movie. So I appreciate that. My other Cullen kids have not seen the film yet, but they're gonna watch it this weekend, just like you guys are.
They're gonna watch it. We're gonna
Washington.
email them.
Yeah.
They're gonna be so sad they're not on this live catching up, and they're gonna watch it.
You know what we should do, like a Zoom. We were threatening to do like we tried to do that, like a Zoom like family reunion, and then it kind of went sideways, and then but we should bring that back. We should do it. It'd be a lot of fun.
Sideways? What happened?
I think there was some crazy stuff going on in the world, and we thought let's not pull focus from that right now. Do you remember?
Well, that makes a lot of sense, and that is exactly what happened. That's right. I do remember.
But
so congrats on your movie. I did watch it. We haven't talked about it yet. I'm always wildly impressed by you because you're the only person, well, actually, let me take that back. There's a lot of multitasking going on in all lives right now, but from the moment I met you, you were the master multitasker. Like, I've never seen anybody be able to stay so focused on so many different projects and wear so many different hats at the same time. And I remember shooting with you, and we would wrap at midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning, and you would take a red eye and fly to New York and shoot your other show, and then fly to LA and work on your writing project and directing, and then fly back to Vancouver. And I was just always always bowing to you at how well you could juggle work, life, following all of your passions, and raising 3 children at the same time. So now that I'm in a relatively similar position and I graduated to a different part of my life, I just have to say I love and appreciate you even more for that, for being the best example of that. But your movie, I remember you pitching. Do you remember telling me about this? How long has this been in the works?
You know what? I think I asked. I said maybe you could play the wife and I could play the husband. And I threw that out there like years ago, but I thought it would be weird because you played my daughter. Go from playing my daughter to my wife would have been a bizarre turn of events. I mean, it's called acting, but I mean, still. Right. And then I ended up directing it and then not playing the lead because I thought, well, listen, I have a whole new profound respect for people who actually direct and then direct themselves in the lead, because I gave myself a smaller role in this movie, The Vanished, thinking it would like be super fun. And because on my first movie I directed, I wasn't in it. I just directed it. And that movie, I was like, oh, everybody's having fun over there. I think on the next one, I'm gonna put me in it as well. And then I only had a small role, but every time I had to act in it, it was so hard because I'm sitting there learning my lines from the night before, and then I have to go there, and I just dressed in costume for the whole day, because I couldn't
You stayed
switch
in
out.
that outfit the whole day?
Yeah, so I had like my gun belt on and my,
Yeah.
and then then they're like, "Do you want to go through hair and makeup?" I was like, I'll just wear a hat the whole time because I don't have any time to go to hair. I don't have any time to put makeup on. Just throw it on last second. And then when you're in the frame and you're acting, you're acting with the person, and you're also, there's like two of you going. You're in the scene and you're also going, am I in frame? I hope the lighting is right. And like you have this voice in the back of your head, so it's like a split personality. And then you're like, oh shit, it's my line. And then like, so it's like, it's crazy. It's stressful. It's a lot. But I hope that I could one day grow to like doing that. But then again, I love collaborating with actors. So I don't know if I need to write, direct, star in, and, produce and wear all the hats. I mean, I like collaborating.
I mean, it's just a whole other talent that obviously you have, but it's that multitasker in you.
Yeah, I mean, I can multitask, but that's a lot.
But I was so proud of you. I didn't realize at the time that you were planning on directing that. Did that come about later? Was that a decision?
Yeah, when I first wrote it, I was just gonna play the lead, so I was looking for directors, and I was thinking, who could play my wife, and then after I directed my first film, Breaking and Exiting, I thought, well, I really want to direct again. I really enjoyed that, and I thought, well, this script is something that would be a good follow up to that because it's different and it's something that I wrote. So then I ended up switching hats and just ended up directing.
And this is a question that I mean, when someone writes something that's real, how much can we give away? A little bit?
Be careful, yeah, but be careful.
Okay, be careful. I know what you mean. When someone writes something that is dealing with something that is so sensitive and also really scary, which in this case it's called The Vanish, so it's
you can say it's a film about it's a film about two parents who go to on an RV park trip with their daughter, and in the first 10 minutes the daughter goes missing, and so the rest of the movie is like a whodunit, like who took the kid, and for me it was really more of an exploration of what would a tragic event like that have, what kind of what would it do to a relationship, like what would happen to the parents, because a lot of times with the parents, what I've read, that when they have a tragedy like that, they end up blaming each other and the marriage crumbles.
Yeah.
So I thought, well, how could that marriage stay alive? What could they do to not have the marriage crumble? What could, if they teamed up, and so there's a weird flow of like them having this event bring them closer, but also, there's moments where it drives them apart. And I've also found that in relationships, I'm sure, as you know, when you're fighting with somebody, people are like, you think it's bad. But I think it's bad when you stop fighting, because when you're in a relationship and you're fighting, you can get through that. There's an energy exchange, you know what I mean, that is happening. But when you're sitting there having dinner with somebody and neither one of you are talking, and you're both kind of in your own worlds, and like there's no energy being exchanged, then the relationship is dead. There's like no way to really pump energy into that. It would, because you've both given up, So I wanted to kind of explore that in this. And if you notice, like with Jason Patrick, who played the sheriff, he has a son that he lost to a drug overdose years prior. So to him, I'm cut out because I put a time limit on it, so I don't spend too much time on Instagram. Otherwise, I'll just scroll all day. So his character, like, he's invested in finding this child so that he can kind of redeem himself for his own, for not being able to save his own kid. But his marriage has gotten to the point where it's crumbled. So, like, I always felt, I tried to design it so that, like, Jason Patrick and his wife are the Ghost of Christmas future for Thomas, Jane, and Anne's character, had they not, joined forces to find their child. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're definitely a team in that.
Yeah.
A team.
It's a struggle, because you're just like, there's plot points in there you don't want to give away, and there's lots of twists and turns.
I'm nervous,
like,
because the last thing I want to do is give away your film and your project, so I'm dancing around my words.
It's
but
okay.
I was thinking about, like, what was going through your mind as a parent, that's every parent's worst nightmare.
Yeah.
So how could you possibly have like reached into your own soul and body enough to write something that is so scary?
Well, to be honest, that it came from a story that kind of happened in a way where I used to have an RV, and I'd take my daughter when Luca, she's older now, but when she was 5, I took her on an RV trip from New York to LA. Right, 30 days in a motorhome. It was a great trip. You and Ian should totally do
Alone?
that. Yeah,
spend a lot of time in our we have an Airstream and we travel across.
Yeah, isn't it so amazing?
It's the best.
So fantastic. So yeah, it was my wife at the time and my daughter and me, and so we go into this RV park in the middle of nowhere, and it's a cute little mom and pop, just like the movie RV park. And I go to pay the guy at the front desk, and I heard like gunshots, and I looked up and I was like, what's that? And he goes, oh, there's a prison a couple of miles down the road. Don't worry about it. They do drills. If you hear 2 or 3 gunshots, it's normal. Anything more, they'll come to the front desk and let me know, because there might be trouble. I didn't know if he was joking or what, but I was like, I didn't sleep that night because the whole time I'm thinking, what if a convict escaped? What if my daughter went missing? How would I find her in the middle of these woods? Who would help me? And
So
what would that do to my relationship? Like, she blame me? Would I blame her? Like, and all these questions were swarming through my head. And then that's where the seeds for this movie kind of were born out of that trip.
Wow.
But I'm sure this happened to you when it's literally the parent's worst nightmare, where you're walking and then your child's like just below your peripheral view, and you turn, you start yelling for them, and then all of a sudden they're like, I'm right here, Dad. And you look down and I'm like, oh my God, thank God. Because like the world stops when you don't have an eyeball on your child.
Well, it also is, now with the world of technology where everyone's looking down. I mean, if you look down for even 5 seconds, like that's 5 seconds too long. If you look down to answer a text or look down to, trust me, every parent watching this Instagram live, because now all your Twilight fans are parents.
They're all parents now, right?
This is their fear.
It's funny because you when that happens, you get this pit in your stomach that you just can't describe, and then this feeling that just goes up to your throat, like you just freeze, and it's like I can't even, like, if you don't have kids, it's hard to describe. The only thing I can think of is if you have a pet that you love and your pet goes missing, or something that you love that goes missing, and it's just like you're desperate to find it. There's a desperation there. When my daughter Fiona was 10 or 11, this is after I had written the movie, by the way. I was in Italy, and we went to this concert like in the middle of the Italian Alps. It was beautiful. And when I say concert, it was one guy playing the viola, and it echoed through the mountains. Like, he had no speaker or anything. It was gorgeous, just one guy. And so there was like 150 people on picnic blankets watching this guy play. And afterwards, my parents, and we had to take this huge like gondola up to 10,000 feet, and afterwards we went to this little restaurant up in the Alps by the ski resort to eat. And so my daughter was there, and I went to throw something away, and I said, wait here. And I went just 5 feet away, threw something away. And when I came back, she was gone. But my parents were sitting at a table like 5 feet away in the other direction outside. So I just thought, oh, she's probably with my family. You know what I mean? So I sit down by the picnic table thinking she's inside with like her sisters or somebody else. We had like 12 people with us. So she's with somebody in my mind, right? And then little by little, everybody starts sitting down at this little picnic table outside. And I'm like 15 minutes into lunch, because I've literally have decided she's in there somewhere, And after 15 minutes, I start looking at everybody. I'm like, everybody's here except for Fiona. And so I go, well, has anybody seen Fiona? And no, and they keep eating. And that's pit in my stomach. And blood starts wait. No one's seen Fiona? No, she's probably inside. She's probably in the bathroom. Wait, everybody stop eating right now. Nobody eats. Put the food down. Where's my daughter? What are you freaking out about? She's probably inside. So I go inside the restaurant, panicked. My cousin's in the bathroom. I'm knocking on the women's bathroom door, and she comes outside. Is Fiona in there? No. Now I'm like literally lost all feelings in my leg. Like I'm like, this the feeling that I have is total panic. And I go outside and I'm like, listen, she's not in the restaurant. I looked all over. She's not in the bathroom. She's not outside. I need help finding her. And so like, but nobody else is panicked because you don't think that would ever happen, right? So my cousin's like, well, there's another restaurant, like literally it's a 10-minute walk away. You could see it. It's off in the distance. He goes, maybe she walked to that one. I said, why would a 10-year-old child walk to another restaurant by herself? I don't know. So there's no cell service, by the way. So I start running towards this restaurant. I said, stay here. My cousin and I ran, and I'm running. And the whole time, all these flashes of images are going through my head. Maybe she fell off of the mountaintop. Maybe somebody kidnapped her. Maybe I'll never see her again. Maybe I keep seeing like news cameras in my head of like helicopters searching for her. Like I'm playing out a whole movie in my mind of this girl, of my daughter missing and never seeing her again. And I just want to throw up. And this was like literally a 5 to 6 minute run. And I was running so fast, I was like knocking people over that were like walking on the trail to the other restaurant. And I get to the other restaurant and I look up and she's sitting on a rock and she's crying. And I run over to her and I grab her and I'm like holding her. I'm like, what happened? Why are you here? And she just says, there was a man, he had a jacket on and I thought it was you. So I started following him thinking it was you. And then halfway to the other restaurant, because I thought we were going to the restaurant, he turned around, it wasn't you. So I didn't know what to do. So I just sat down on this rock. I was like so relieved, but she was missing for a good like 20-30 minutes. Like
anything could have happened to her in that time.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's a nightmare, and clearly you had a lot to bring to the table.
Plus, I had already written this script, so I already have like crazy, that's already in my mind, planted already. So I was so grateful and thankful that she was okay.
God, this is why it took me 3 days to watch your movie. I watched it in like 25-minute increments because I couldn't handle. I mean, my only time to watch TV or movies is right before I go to bed because the days are filled with work and babies. So that's it. So I would text you. I'd be like, okay, it's 9:45. I'm diving in. I can't promise. I don't know how far I'm going to make it into this. And it took me 3 days to watch it because it's that kind of movie where you're just like sitting on the edge of your bed.
It has a lot of tension, but I tried to make it more of a psychological thriller than it is a psychological thriller, but instead of doing a straight drama, because I've seen those movies where it's just a drama about a kid gone missing, and they're sad.
Definitely not a drama.
They're hard to watch. They're sad, and they're just like. And at the end of the movie, you're like, why did I watch that? But this film is more like a psychological thriller where you as an audience member get to help solve the case because you're living it through the parents' eyes. So you're like, oh my God, that's crazy, but I would do that. If someone said that my daughter, that person might know where my daughter is, I would do that. You know what I mean?
But also when you go back and watch it from the beginning, you start to pick up on little things now.
Yeah. It's a fun movie to watch twice because afterwards you're like, oh, okay. You go back and watch it again, and like you see all these little nuggets, the double entendres.
I really appreciate the actors and what they brought to it because once you know ultimately what happens, and you go back to the beginning and you watch, you're like, oh, I see why they made that choice in this scene, or I see. I mean, even down to like, and this is the most I'll give away, but even down to like the wardrobe.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, those are interesting wardrobe choices that I know were really specific, either from you and you brought your, experience as an actor to the table into your directing, or from your two brilliant lead actors, which I'm sure that was just like such
they were so fun to watch. I mean, Tom and Ann have such great chemistry that I could watch them all.
Were you friends with them?
No, I just sent them the script. I sent Thomas Jane the script first. He was with the same agency I had, and I liked his work.
Yeah, I was gonna ask why you chose, like, what was it about?
Well, a lot of times when you're trying to get to actors, you're like, well, who do I know, or who does my team know? You know what I mean? Because a lot of times you try to get actors scripts, and there's so many people at the gate that guard them that they don't get the script. You know what I mean? So, but I had financing. But even with financing, sometimes you make offers and like they just never read it. I've met people that are like, I sent you my script and you never heard back from me. I never got it.
Well, it's personal if it's directly from you too.
Yeah.
It's like a note on why you feel they would be.
So, so Thomas, I was a fan of his work. My agent repped him, and I said, "Yeah, I really like him. See if he likes it." And he loved it. And I sat down with him, and then he came on board first. And then we were trying to figure out, female wise, who would make sense with Thomas, age wise and like chemistry wise. And he had worked with Anne Heche on Hung, and I liked the fact I hadn't seen them together, but I knew that if they had worked together and they knew each other, that I felt like, it's hard to throw two actors together and go, okay, you have a history of being married, you know what I mean? And you have to create it in like one day. But if you know each other and like you have a chemistry already, I thought that would translate on film, and there would be more of a connection between the two of them. And there was apparently, because after my movie wrapped, they ended up dating, which is kind of
Really?
cool. Yeah, now they're dating. Yeah, it's public knowledge, so I didn't say
No,
anything.
no. Yeah. You're you didn't pull a fadge?
I didn't pull a fetch.
Good. You kept your clothes on.
Get my clothes on that one. That's so funny.
That's really cool. Yeah, you could feel the chemistry. I mean, they felt like they knew each other and like they had a lot of history with something so intense. It's yeah, it was really, I don't know what to say because I don't want to give it away. But
just tell people to watch
they were
it.
really aligned with how they approached this story. How about that? From the first scene, which then you go back and watch again. I did, and I was like, oh, that was a really interesting choice that both of you made.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So The Vanish is on VOD and in select theaters. It's kind of cool that it's in theaters at all.
It?
What's that?
Where do we find it?
Okay. All on-demand platforms, so iTunes, Amazon Prime, anything you would rent a movie on. Sometimes cable has, like, you rent movies on cable. And then it's in some select theaters. It's like 20 or 30 theaters. I was actually impressed that they got so many during COVID because there's not many open right now.
Yeah, are people going to the theater right now?
Some states are. I mean, it's actually playing at the drive-in, which is kind of cool in Los Angeles.
Oh, that's awesome.
The Vineland
Hey,
drive-in.
I'll meet you at the drive-in.
Yeah, we should do that. I'm going tomorrow night.
Socially distanced.
I'm gonna go see. I'm going tomorrow night. I'm gonna be in one of the cars. If
you just told the whole world you're going.
Yeah, come find me in one of the cars and knock on my window and give me a thumbs up if you like the movie.
Oh, it's playing tomorrow at the drive-in.
At the drive-in is playing tomorrow night. I'm going tomorrow night. It's like 11:15 p.m. showing or something.
Saturday?
Yeah, it's late though. It's too late for you, because I know you go to bed early.
I go to bed early?
You told me last night. You're like, Fatch, it's like 8:30, and Nikki's like, it's past my bedtime.
That's because I get up at like 4:30.
I know. She's part of the 4 a.m. club. She gets up 4 a.m. and she's going like the Energizer Bunny.
I'm the 4 a.m. club. I'm literally on the opposite. That our household works on the opposite. Like, Ian stays up till 4 and I wake up at 4. So we're on the opposite day to night sync shift. That's just how it goes. I really like watching the sun come up, and not because I've stayed up all night. I mean, I like watching I like watching it when I'm a night guy, so like I like watching it, staying up all night and then watching it and then going to bed. Like when we do night shoots, I'm like I'm golden because I'm up I stay up late. That's my worst. You can find me in the corner somewhere, like my mouth is open and I'm drooling and I'm half asleep and I'm like, okay, somebody get me at the last second.
I remember those days. I do.
Yeah, that's what I do. I find a car or something to sleep in. Yeah, I'm definitely not a night person. That's so exciting. You'll be at the drive-in. I will try. What time does it play? I will try to go.
It's not. You're not. It's 11:15 p.m. So it's.
Oh man.
Yeah. Like it's totally not your. It's not your vibe.
That's
totally fine.
My wake up time.
And that's like. Kind of like 3 hours. You'll finish the movie and then you'll have to be like, now I have to get up.
I'll do it for you. I would do it for you.
I don't want you to have to do that. But you guys that are watching, go see it at the drive-in, or if it's not playing near you, check it out on VOD. What else are you doing? I want to hear about your lines. This girl has a whole company, and she's like crushing it. So talk about that. I want to know about that.
I mean, that is not what is important right now. I'm just working on Bayou, same old, but I also wear many hats. So
tell me about Bayou. I want to know what it is. Like, I know it's clothes. Is it clothing and jewelry, or is it just jewelry?
It's a little bit of both, but it's primarily jewelry. So I make fine jewelry out of recycled gold that's found in technology.
Is that a piece of your company right there?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
I
I
don't
saw
keep
that.
anything because everything is for sale. But yeah, I definitely wear all of our samples for a couple days to make sure there's no bumps and nothing sharp and everything feels good, and then it goes out. But yeah, I spend my days doing a lot of. There's a lot of the creative, but there's a lot of logistics and operations too. So I oversee everything from like I create the product pages, I shoot all the product, I design the product, packing, shipping, all that logistics, all accounting, all of that stuff. So like this morning, I was writing individual SKU numbers on 150 different product bags going to our warehouse, and then creating all the product pages for 3 new collections on the back end, and working on coding with our web developer on a Zoom call and that kind of thing. So I'm just all day. It's easier to start really early in the morning because half of our team, we all work remotely. So half of our team is on the East Coast. And so if I get up at 4 or 5, everyone's rocking and rolling. So yeah, that's what
That's
I'm doing over
awesome.
here.
I just
Yeah.
started. I haven't done a lot of collaborations or got into fashion a lot, but I just did a collaboration with a company called Tank Farm, and created this T-shirt. And they did like this cool design of this of my motorcycle. You've been on my motorcycle.
I
Uh,
have. You're the only person whose motorcycle I would count.
oh, that's
I'm afraid
actually that's an honor because that means you trust me. That's kind of
I
neat.
do. I trust you, and I figure you have 3 girls that you ride around on your
Yeah,
3 daughters that you ride around on your motorcycle.
I'm
And
pretty
you did
safe.
give me a helmet.
Yes,
So
I'm pretty safe.
anyone who
So,
puts you on their motorcycle and doesn't offer you a helmet is bad news.
well, it's the law. But even if it wasn't the law, I'd wear a helmet.
That's true.
And
It's the law.
so they took my motorcycle and they did a sketch design. They put it on this cool T-shirt. Their T-shirts are so awesome because they feel like vintage shirts. You know, when you buy a T-shirt and it's like
Yeah,
stiff,
used
you
and
gotta
worn.
wash it like 1,000 times.
Yeah,
Theirs are like they're soft. It's like a T-shirt you've worn 100 times. That's why I love their
I
stuff.
love that.
And so they did this cool collaboration with me where they did that, and then I signed it so it has like my signature on it, and we did bandanas too. So that's kind of
Like
fun.
the
So
face mask?
yeah, you could wear it as a face mask. Yeah. I mean, I would definitely try to put a filter underneath there because this, cloth is not as protective as like an N95, but something is better than nothing, and
That's
it
right.
is pretty cool. Or if you want to rob a bank, we got a little. No, don't do that.
Oh my God.
That was the foot and mouth thing. Someone's gonna rob a bank and be
You
like,
just,
"Facinelli told me to rob a bank with his mask."
you're moving into Fadge land.
Yeah, pull it
I miss
back,
you.
Fatch.
When do we
Um,
get to do things like have dinner and see each
I
other
know,
and
right? I
give Lily
miss
a hug
that.
for me and all your girls?
I miss that so much. I
I
miss
know.
you guys, and I'm so excited for your company. And where's the website for your company? Because I want to go. I'm going to get off this, and I'm going to go check out your stuff.
I'll text it to you. I love
You
you.
will?
It's buyyouwithlove.com. Yeah, I'll text it to
Well,
you.
yeah. Tell other people too. What are you hiding it for?
You're
Buy
so
you,
sweet. Well, I
buy
just
you.
wanted to talk about your movie. That's
Oh,
what I wanted
but
to
I'm always interested in what you're doing. You know what I mean? Like
do.
I love you.
Well, we've all seen each other go through like how many different chapters of life now.
I know.
It's pretty wild. We were just talking about this, but when you started the first Twilight, I think Fiona was like 2 or 3, and
Yeah.
so and now I have a 3-year-old. It's just so I don't even know how to. I mean, it makes me feel so emotional actually because I don't even know how to put into words what it feels like to look back at life and go like, oh, now I see different
Hmm.
chapters of life, you know?
And just watching each other grow and
Yeah.
and watching me regress as you grow, and then I'm kidding. I love you so much, and I thank you for doing this with me and catching up on Instagram Live. I don't really do a lot of
Sure.
Instagram Lives. I should do more of them.
I mean, definitely, I'm sure there are a lot of people in here that want to connect with you. So definitely jump on these. I've done a few. I did one with a doctor that was really kind of powerful and educational, just because it was right in the beginning of COVID. And
Mm.
I think this is a really cool tool to share knowledge between to like cross pollinate platforms and share knowledge and stuff, and also catch up with people. And I know there's a lot of people who want to catch up with you.
Somebody wrote, Peter, you look tired. I am tired. I just flew
Oh
in. I just flew in yesterday
no.
from Wyoming, and I was literally up all night because we were doing a night shoot, and then I didn't sleep. And so yesterday, I slept last night, but like the night before, I went like 48 hours without sleeping. It was crazy.
I mean, I think you look great, and I'm
Oh,
sure
thank you
that
so much.
person who wrote that does too. But I think you look great. I
Oh,
think
thank
you
you.
look
This
rugged
is why
and,
she's my
and
favorite.
handsome.
That's why
But
she's
you
my
know
favorite
what? You
child.
just admitted that you like to stay up until 5 o'clock in the
That's
morning.
true.
So I
That's
guess
true.
you'll just carry a little bit of tired with you forever.
Always. Dark circles are coming back in nowadays. It's a new fashion thing. I like to have dark circles.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. We spray painted them on for our movies, but that's the thing, right?
Well, I
Yeah.
love you to pieces. I'm gonna let you go because I know you've got like 10,000 things that you're doing,
And you do too.
and thank you for taking the time out to hang out with me on Instagram Live. And I hope we get to do it again. And I want to do
I
it. We
always
should.
want to see. I want to see your face always, and I
I
want
want
to
to.
try to figure out when we can maybe have a socially distanced something or another, whatever that means, dinner, or snack, or tea, or something, or even just a
100%.
FaceTime because I love you, and obviously
Yeah.
talking to you on IG Live is super fun. But I also want to hear some, you know, some of the good stuff. I want to catch up on FaceTime.
Well, we should do that. We should do like try to put together that Twilight reunion. I think it's heading back into
You're in
better.
charge. You're
Okay,
the Papa
I'll do
Bear.
it.
You're in charge. You
I'll
put
do
it.
it.
You spearhead that
Okay, deal.
for all
I'll
the
do it.
kids.
I'll
Love
do
you.
it. Love you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. Watch The Vanish this weekend. Let's make
And
it
go to
number
the
one.
drive-in theater tomorrow.
Take care. Love you guys. Bye.